Only thank God. So at this moment, we are only thanking God for what He has done. Last year, God spoke and spoke loudly, but there was a little heat somewhere, and we were second. We gathered here and we said to the world that 2020 we are bringing the cup. Yes. And by the grace of God today, we are here with the cup. We have assembled here 5 trophies, and today we have counted the 6. Let's talk about it. The 2021 journey starts today. We are targeting number 7. And we are starting today. And for all of you who are gathered here, particularly the long convoy, KK and Co. Thank you. I am extending invitation to you. Be part of the process. Be part of the process. Not only when we have won.
All right, so that's it. That's the headmaster of Presbyterian Boys Secondary School. Of course, they are the victors. And this morning, we're privileged to have the contestants join us in studio. Now, Benjamin Kwanzaa-Nketia is here.
Put your hands together. Please put your hands together. Yeah.
Okay. Daniel Kekeli Gakpeto is also here.
The boy.
And Isaac Kofi Jemfi is also here.
Hey, thank you.
And of course, the coach,
yes,
Jidefo Afram,
Cochito,
is also here.
Cochito. Introduce me. Cochito.
Please. I don't like that. And the managing director of Primetime Limited, they organized it. Nanekia and Kuma Sari is also here. Good morning.
Nanekia, we love you.
And of course, how would you know you are in the final?
The champion.
Please. The quiz mistress, Dr. Elsie Kaufman. Ifa Kaufman is also here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Listen, yesterday after first round.
Yesterday after first round.
Protect 9. Was 8, additional 4, and incorrect 20.
No, it was 14. Hold on. George, come back. After the end of the first round, it was Presec 14. Was 9. Adisadel 7.
Incorrect 20. Incorrect is also.
Now, when they entered the second round, speed race, first 2, the boys all they kept quiet. I say something will shake somebody. Anyway, guys, let me first congratulate the winners. Guys, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've done very, very well. Congrats. You know, you were here on Wednesday. Yeah. Nice one. When you have the Bishop Herman man clapping. The Bishop Herman man clapping. Around 8th, he's out. But guys, you've done very, very, very well. For winning this. How does it feel? I mean, now that you've won, you were here on Wednesday, you told us you were going to win. You, Benjamin Nketia, you were very, very confident. Why were you so confident? I mean, what did you know that convinced you so much that you're going to win?
Well, honestly, when we started training since Form 2, I had a strong conviction that this year we'll win it. And so we were praying, we're working very hard, we're putting in every effort to make it a reality. And by God's grace, yesterday was a reality. And the feeling was just so glorious. We were excited. Was unspeakable. Yeah.
But talking about the feeling, so let me ask you, when I decided to press the bell after the first screw in the final radio, knowing you were leading by 5 points, what was the feeling? Tell me, what was the feeling?
When it got to the radios, I just closed my eyes. I was praying. I said, "Hey God, don't forget us."
God shouldn't forget you. Okay. Yeah. So when they pressed it, you're like,
when you pressed them, my heart sank. And I was like, oh God. Then he mentioned the answer and it was wrong. I was like, yes.
but did you know the answer? Because you got it wrong too.
At that point, we didn't know the answer.
At that point, you knew you had won.
Yeah.
Once they missed it, the answer didn't matter.
Didn't matter at all.
Okay. Let me get to the quiz mistress, Dr. Kaufman. We were monitoring from afar. And my science students, all my friends who had done red science, in fact, they were all confused because they didn't understand. They said the questions were difficult. You see, yes, see, Dennis Fairboy here, who said he was answering the questions. When I was with him, he couldn't answer even one. All he kept saying was that.
The true or false.
Oh, he said, "Me, I finished school chair. Me, I finished school chair." The guy was suffering. So I was like, So these boys, they are very sharp, Charlie. And I'm like, why do people give them difficult questions like that?
Oh, were you looking for a final with a score of 100 and 200?
Oh, no, I mean, not at all. Not at all, but...
Yes. So the consultant team, we work very hard. We want to challenge our students. And in fact, they get better every year. So we need to be one step ahead. And if we want them to learn a concept, we intentionally bring those concepts so that they prepare. Because they'll get something wrong this year, by next year, in fact, by next month, they would have sorted out.
That one, yeah.
Yes, so we want them to learn and want them to improve, and that's why we do that.
Because, for those of us who are watching sometimes, I know the final scores are always around 30-something. I'm like, why is it that, in the semi-finals, Charlie, 66, boom. Then you get to the final and you realize that, Charlie, things are very, very difficult. But I'm sure, hold on, I see Nketia smiling. Did you feel the same too, that the final was very difficult?
Oh yeah, it was much more difficult than the semi-finals, but the level is supposed to go higher, so it's okay. Yeah.
Let me get to Jidepo Afram, coach of the team. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You made sure they won. What was the secret?
There's a lot that goes into it. We did a lot of training, a lot of hard work, and most importantly, the psyching of the students is very important. And then before every contest, I make sure that they take at least 8 to 9 hours of rest and take a lot of water.
Why water?
The water for myself. Whenever I'm stressed, I take water and reduces my stress level. So I make sure they take a lot of water and then take a lot of rest.
So they don't spend the hours before the contest learning.
Not really. Hours before the contest, I just ask them. I just leave them. Whatever they have, maybe they feel like they want to touch on something, they do. But most of the time, I just use it to relax with them.
When you were preparing them for this year's contest, did you expect to win?
Well, yes, please. We started with them in 2018 after we had an early exit. That time they were in Form 1 third term. And so last year batch, they were with their seniors. And naturally, their trainings that we went around, they were doing far better than their seniors. Those who won last year. Out of about 15 contests, trial contests, they won about 13 with very huge marks. They lost 2 with 1 point and 2 points. But so there was so much pressure on me from all students and other stakeholders that why that I should use the Form 2 students instead of the Form 3. And I said no, it's the year for the Form 3. I believe that after the WASI, the pressure and the rest, they will bounce back, and they did.
So you knew that these guys were better than those who represented you last year?
I wouldn't say they were better then.
But you said you were
last year, if I had used them for final, they may not have that much content, but they had that resilience. And I think that was what was working for them. When they were on stage, it's like we are in Form 2, we have nothing to lose. Even if you beat us, we are in Form 2. And they were, when other schools, we meet them on stage, the schools were very uncomfortable when they meet our Form 2s, but they were very comfortable when they met our Form 3, and they, in fact, confess it. So for them, they had that kind of tenacity that we have nothing to lose, and they are ready to face any school. That was the challenge they gave themselves.
Okay.
But in terms of content, I believe that the Form 3s then had more content than them. Probably they were under the WASI, the pressure of having too many things to do, preparing for WASI at the same time, preparing for quiz.
So I know in every contest, when you're going into a contest, there are some schools you look up to and say, these schools are going to give us a bit of a problem. Should we meet them, or you'd want to see them out so that you can have your way? What are those schools that you are, a little bit scared of, felt that they could actually trouble you?
Actually, we studied a number of most of the other quiz goes on. We studied out of the schools, and I'll say, Accra Academy. From all our trainings, they have been the schools that actually gave us a lot of tough time. Even though we beat them a number of times, but we saw they had great potential. So we actually work alongside with them, Accra Academy and Achimota.
When you say you work alongside with them, what does it mean?
Most of the time we do a lot of trials. We the coordinators, we discuss. Sometimes when they have a contest, and then we need to meet them and then give them a few tips as to how to remove some. We do that.
You were giving them tips to remove who?
No, that one is a secret.
Oh, hold on. I am interested in that one.
No.
I am interested in that one because Accra actually, if I should borrow your words, removed Augustins. Did you give them tips to do that?
Oh, well, for every contest, as I said, their teacher has been a very close friend. We meet a lot, Accra and Achimota. So we meet, and then maybe I'd give them observations, and then maybe if there are some things that they need to do in order to beat something, in order to win.
So in that quarterfinals, you gave them some observations.
Well.
Oh, just tell me, did you give them some observations in the quarterfinals?
That one will be later.
So you gave them?
No, that one will be later.
Oh, but you said you were giving them observations, right?
So we observe, whenever we train before our quarterfinal, they also with us. They also came to support us and tell us a few things we need to do. Yes, so.
Okay. I like the observation bit, and so you were actually helping them to eliminate some schools. In effect, let me just ask you finally before I get to Nanekia. So in effect, schools like Augustins that you wanted them out of the contest.
Oh well, actually, not that we were ready to face anybody, but then we had an all Greater Accra final agenda. So we were working on that agenda. So not really that we were afraid of any school, but then we wanted that agenda to happen.
All Greater Accra agenda.
Agenda, yes please.
So you wanted Accra,
Achimota,
and Presec in the finals.
Presec, yes please.
Oh, okay. I see. Accra, hold on there. Oh, okay. The Accra man says Presec should do outsourcing, so we'll talk about that later. But let me get to Nanekia. Wonderful competition, and I'm sure from an organizer's point of view, you're happy with how it turned out, isn't it?
Yes, we are. We are very happy. We are very happy with it. It's been a tough time getting everything together. We had to change how things were done. We had to travel to the regions to do the prelims, and then we got back on a Saturday. That Sunday, the following day, we moved into residence. That Monday, the schools came into residence as well. So since 1st September, we've been running on a very, very tight schedule, and we are really, really happy that everything's turned out so well, and we are very relieved that we've done so well with it. Yes,
everything turned out so well. We'll come back to you, but I want to ask Dr. Kaufman a few more questions, because you're listening and you're watching actually, and the boys are answering questions. They are talking. You're nodding. When you're nodding, from our point of view, when you're nodding, it means they're making sense. Then they end and you tell them that oh no. Look, why were you doing that to the boys?
I have to give them a chance to express themselves. In fact, I was told earlier on when I first started, I was much more intolerant. I would stop people very quickly. And I was advised that I should at least listen to them. So I give them a chance, on and on. I can understand their train of thought. That's why I'm nodding. It doesn't mean it's right. But I understand. I appreciate the logic they are following. In their minds, there's some logic.
So you want them to speak out?
So I want them to continue for a while. But then the more they speak, sometimes it gets worse. That's why I have to stop and put some out of misery.
You put them out of misery?
Yes, because when you keep talking and you are just making things worse and worse and worse, and you are struggling, trying to find things to say, it's best for me to just stop it.
I see. It's just, and so when it happens like that, all you have to do is just to tell them stop and don't go on. But I saw some instances where the students and their teachers go protesting that I answered this and it should be right and all. I mean, as quiz mistress, when you hear them protesting that this answer is right, I mean, I've been told it's wrong. How does it feel?
Yes, actually, it's all part of it. Especially the protests are actually getting more and more with time.
Yeah.
Earlier on, it wasn't so much, and then the protests also get more serious as we move from prelims. Hardly anything happens there, but when we move into the money zone, you see, each point is worth something. So any question at all, any ambiguity, and people want to protest because the 1 point is worth something to them. Just imagine the finals, 1.25 Ghana cedis. So if you really think your answer is right, you have to protest and check. So we see it as something normal. The other thing is, these questions, we put them together as a consulting team. We are human beings. Occasionally, this is, by the way, the reason why for me personally, I spend a lot of sleepless nights. First, the consultants set their questions. They check their questions. Then we meet together as a consulting team, the moderation team. We again read, all the consultants are there. We check to see if it makes sense. And then it goes to the quiz mistress to do final checks. So I spend a lot of time on every single question. I am so invested in these questions. And I check them and I check them again. So it's amazing. There are so many questions for every competition. How many times do you have a case where we actually say we've made a mistake? You should be amazed by the level of accuracy we have.
Sure.
So we are working very, very hard, but it's a human enterprise. So by all means, once in a while, we do make mistakes, and when we do, we acknowledge it and apologize.
Okay. Do you sometimes go on social media after the contest?
Actually, this year I'm doing more social media than before.
Okay.
Twitter occasionally. I'm not on Facebook. WhatsApp. That's it for me.
Okay.
Yes, and occasionally I will check. But the thing is, I have such a thick skin.
Okay. So when you see the comments of people, criticizing you and sometimes saying, "No, Dr. Kaufman has been unfair to us."
Oh yeah.
How does it feel?
Oh, I've been doing this for a while. Every year there's something. Every single year. Isn't it amazing that whenever a school wins, everything is fine with quiz mistress? But let the school lose. The same school that won the previous round, they lose the next stage, and quiz mistress hates them. Quiz mistress was biased. Quiz mistress discouraged them. Quiz mistress intimidated. Quiz mistress.
Yes, they say you have been intimidating the students.
Oh, all these years haven't I even done westerns?
They say no. They actually say that. Oh, when we get there, particularly for the girls' schools when they come in, or schools that have a female contestant. When the boys are trying to intimidate the girls small so that their school pass through, then the quiz mistress is protecting them and she's intimidating the boys. Be careful. And they said, they say you are intimidating.
Oh, I don't intimidate contestants. Maybe I intimidate the crowd.
Yeah. You want to intimidate the crowd?
The ones that make terrible comments from the crowd, I usually stop them, especially when they are saying negative things about the girls. I stop the contest and address them directly. Yes. Yes, but I'm not trying to intimidate any contestant. Like I said, I'm even much more tolerant these days in my old age. I listen and listen and listen when the thing is not right before finally giving you the relief.
Okay. I like the fact that you say you have a thick skin, but I'll get back to you. I have some 2 last questions for you, but let me get to the contestant. This time I'm going to get all of you to speak, not only Benjamin. I'd like to hear from you, Gakpeto, hear from you, Jemfi also. So, Benjamin, tell me, what was your most exciting moment? I know you've won, but apart from the victory, while you were going through the contest, what was your most exciting moment?
All right. The most exciting moment was in the speed race, a particular question. When the woman was reading, we thought she was done. So we both rang Adisadel and Presec. And Adisadel said 1 out of 4. And that's the answer we got. Then immediately we knew that she has not finished reading. So what should we say? 1 out of 2. And it was correct.
Wow. Okay. That's part of the strategy. And sometimes you play 1 or 2 things and it works.
It works out.
I see. Which was what?
Yes.
So you both got the same answer, but then you guessed right. Boys near sharp. Let me get to you, Gakpeto. I want to hear from Gakpeto also. Get closer to the microphone. Tell me, what was your exciting moment also?
Well, my most exciting moments would be in the semi-final speed race. One question that I answered, 26.0 seconds. It was just so nice. How we had the answer so fast. And even the quiz mistress commended us for our efforts. It was great.
Nice one. Jemfi, tell me.
My most exciting moment was when I answered the last riddle. The composite.
Yeah, I like that.
It was very good.
You know, as soon as I saw you, I remembered my secondary school days. You know, when I went to secondary school, somebody looked at me and said, I acquired me a kokoseno. Let me get to the. So, what was the most challenging moment for you, Benjamin?
Okay. I think the most challenging moment was the quarterfinals during the speed race. You know, like after round 3, I go out. So, during the speed race, so that's the time I'm supposed to like make the points very huge for the other people to Isaac when he comes, so that it will be a much more easier. But the speed race, like, it was too tight. Like, everybody was ringing the bell, and I was like, so can we go home today? Like, but God saw us through.
God certainly saw you through. Gakpeto, what was your most challenging moment?
My most challenging moments would also be during the quarterfinal speed race. It was very tough, and the schools gave us a run for our money. And
how about you, Jemfi?
Mine was in the finals. The trophies. When we were losing points.
Yeah, I was watching, and you guys were dropping points. So I called Dennis Fairboy. I said, what are you guys doing? What are you guys? Because I know that my disco friends will give me problems if they win this thing. Anyway, so let me get to you, Dr. Kaufman, also. What was your most exciting moment? Think about it.
I have to think about it. Normally when I'm on stage, I'm enjoying myself all the time. I happy myself, you see.
You happy yourself on stage?
Yes, all the time. So it's hard, but to finish the whole thing, I mean, the final was a good one. Yes.
And what will be your most challenging?
Can't think of that either.
Oh, you can't think of that. Okay.
I can't think of that. I enjoyed all of it.
Great to know that you enjoyed all of it. I mean, you are supposed to enjoy it. I mean, you have the marks in your. Once they get it right, you determine the marks, so you have to enjoy it. But Benjamin, which school would you say was your toughest opponent?
Oh, the toughest. I guess Ghana National.
Ghana toughest opponent.
Okay, and Adisco too. Maybe between one of them, because they were the point.